Welcome to the Marvelous Moms Club podcast. Discover yourself, break out of mediocrity, and become the mom you've always aspired to be. Here's your host, Kirsten Tyrell.
Hey, Marvelous Moms. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to another fabulous episode of the Marvelous Moms Club podcast. I'm multitasking today, so if you are one of my lovely Periscope followers, you are seeing this live, and if you're listening, that means you're getting double the fun. You get to listen to it back and hear everything twice. So welcome. It's been a great week. We've had some really fabulous women on the podcast. It's been really, really fun hearing their stories and getting inspired and not feeling alone, which is the whole purpose, right? It's super fun. So I actually had a question today on the Facebook group, somebody asking me if I had interviewed anybody who had any advice on investing for money, investing for businesses, that kind of thing. And I was like, no, not yet. I don't want to blow everybody's minds too much because I have moms in the group, you guys know who you are, who are having a hard time even reading one book that I've suggested, let alone like the dozens of books that I post every week from the people who are on the podcast who talk about what they're reading. And so there's tons of content. So I don't want you guys to feel like this is a business podcast. I do give some business advice and we have some really great business women on here, but it will all come with time. We don't want anybody to be scared away. But it got me thinking about something that I have actually kind of pondered before as I've gone through this whole business experience, starting the podcast, starting some other businesses, on investing in our children. And I think sometimes it gets easy, especially talking to Megan McBride this week on chasing your own dreams. It gets easy to start focusing on what you're pursuing and what your goals are. And you start thinking, yeah, I love being a mom, but I need to do my thing so I'm happy. And it just came to me one day when I was looking at my children that my biggest investment is going to be in their future because they're going to hopefully outlive me. And anything that I'm doing now is investing in the future that they're going to have. So whether that's the time I'm investing into them, even everything I do to earn money is investing so that I can create the experiences that they need to have a better future. Me learning these lessons and going through the hard stuff is only going to improve their chances of having serious success. If I'm only investing in myself and kind of shoving them to the side and saying, watch while mommy pursues her dreams, then I'm not teaching them that they're the reason that I'm doing this. And I'm not showing them that their dreams are important too. It's just a selfish thing. So I think it's really cool how, you learn everything from your parents and then we kind of go a step above them. Our parents always say to us, you're so much better, you're so much smarter than I was at your age. And there's something to that. It's because we're using all their knowledge and the knowledge of their parents and so on and so forth, and then we're using it in our own lives. So when you think about it that way, if you're compounding that and you're really growing your life and you're growing your experience and your knowledge, you're investing that into your children's knowledge, into their future. You're creating the reality that they're going to have when they go out into the world. So I'm excited to see what my kids are going to accomplish when they're 18 and they leave the house. I'm not going to have any preconceived notions on what they're going to do. And my parents didn't either. They didn't force any kind of future onto me. But the fact that we're starting businesses and that we have these goals and that our mindset has shifted and we're literally feeling and believing that anything is possible is creating a standard for our kids, and it's investing in their future and the capabilities that they're going to have. So it's a really cool thing, and it makes me really excited to see what they're going to go on and accomplish. I think it's really, really cool how when you involve your children in what you're doing, you're teaching them by example. And that's stuff we hear all the time. We know that. We know that our actions speak louder than words. But to involve my kids and to get excited about things and involve them in the adventure is just making them get excited for a future. And it's making them be more creative and think outside the box. And there's so many things about business and the process of investment that can go hand in hand with parenting, planning ahead and finding things that you want to invest in, letting them find their passions, letting them find their dreams and invest their time into them, giving them the option to learn what they want to learn, and really delving into what their skills and their talents are early. Not forcing them to take dance classes if all of a sudden they maybe like to dance for a minute, but just really giving them the capability to hone their skills and to invest in what they love. Because as soon as they get older, they're not going to think there's any limitations on their potential. They're going to go for whatever they want to go for because they've gotten to see you go for what you want to go for. So it's a fine line, I feel like, because there's days where I feel like it's all about me. It's all about me chasing my dream and my goal and everything I need to do. And they kind of get pushed to the sidelines a little bit. And then there's other days where it's like, this is the whole reason I'm doing this. I look at them and I think you guys are my future. Everything I'm doing now is for you guys to have a bright future. And I know I talked about this on a past episode where I was reading The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, where he says, picture your great granddaughter on your knee and have her looking, I'm going to cry, have her looking around at everything that you've created and saying, how did we get here? How do we have all of this? And just saying, because I was there at a time when things changed and I wasn't afraid to go for my dreams. And now we have all these wonderful things and opportunities. And that is my absolutely biggest dream. And I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure to succeed. You start feeling behind the curve. For me, it's been such a learning curve with social media, with marketing, with business. And I think that I have to do it all. And it gets really, really scary. And I take a step back and I think, I don't have to be an overnight success. This doesn't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be even wonderful every single day. There's going to be hard days. And I'm teaching my children the ebb and flow of life, the ebb and flow of investments. Some days you're going to have a really high return. Some days you're going to lose something. So it's just cool. I like analogies. I like comparing things. And I feel like I'm totally going all over the place, but you catch my drift, right? We need to invest in these tiny little people because I don't know. I think it's just the coolest idea. They're going to live a lot longer than us, and their futures are very, very dependent on the futures that we have and that we create for them and that we help them to create for themselves. So I thought that was a pretty special little thing that I came up with. Let me know what you guys think. How do you think there are other ways that you can invest in your children? And do you guys realize the impact that you're having on your kids? If you're sitting at home and you're thinking, oh, it's good enough. This is good enough. What are you teaching your children? Are you teaching your children that having just enough is okay? Yeah, we can be grateful for what we have, but is just enough going to make them wildly successful, insanely happy? Do you want your kids to be mediocre? I think that one of the guests I'm going to have on the podcast, her name's Jackie. She's fighting arthritis, and she is doing the Choosing to Love Yourself campaign that the Small Seed is doing. And one thing I really loved that she posted was, I wouldn't put these foods into my body. It was like to pull up a childhood picture of yourself. And she said, I wouldn't feed this to myself as a baby, so I wouldn't feed that to my son. Why am I feeding this to myself now? Why am I choosing to treat myself this way and not taking good care of myself the way I would take care of my children? So I thought that was a really, really, really cool way to look at it. You know, what are you doing for your children, and how are you creating for your children? How are you treating your children? Because that's the way that they're going to continue on to treat other people too. I feel like I totally lost the tangent I was on there, but I hope you get the idea. I really loved that. So I'm excited to have Jackie on. It's going to be really fun to hear about her journey. We have so many good things lined up for the next couple of weeks. I mean, some seriously mind-blowing interviews. And I love it. It's opened up so many avenues. I was telling my scopers that are watching before how this podcast has opened so many doors. And I truly just every day make new friends, and friends that I love, friends that I can't imagine my life without. And it's been such a huge, cool thing. So thank you for listening, you guys. Thank you for being a part of the Marvelous Moms Club. Thanks for all of your comments and your help on the Facebook group. It's been so, so cool to see all of these friendships and buddy systems form. And I can't wait to see where it takes us from here. Hope you guys are having a great week, and I will be back here tomorrow, Friday, with an incredible interview, one that you will not want to miss, with a wonderful, wonderful girl named Megan. So we had 2 Megs on the group this week. I'm sorry to confuse you, but they're both wonderful, so I had to have them on here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you tomorrow.